It's all Greek to me.
So today we're going to be sharing with you how we make Greek salad. And this is kind of a weird thing because we have a really large Greek population here just to the north of us in Tarpon Springs. And I don't know.
People are probably wondering why I'm peeling potatoes if we're making Greek salad.
I don't know how this came about, but in this area in particularly, anytime you get a Greek salad, it's going to be served with potato salad on top.
Sounds really weird, but it is awesome.
It is super yummy, and so that's why we're starting off with potatoes.
We tried this last week. We made a version of this, and it was one of those like, hey, let's just have Greek salad for dinner. So I made up a quick potato salad, a little bit different than the style of potato salad I normally make, and we did the salad, made the dressing, and
it was so yummy. It felt like a cheat meal. I'm
yeah,
serious.
I mean, there's some fat in here. You know, we're using mayo, we're using some oils, but it's all plant-based. It's all good stuff. There's lots of fresh veggies, lots of fiber. This is all like good food, you know? So it's just amazing. But yeah, I was not really that familiar with Greek salad. I mean, what's a Greek salad? It's a salad that has Greek dressing on it, right? Well, what's a Greek dressing? It's kind of like almost an Italian dressing. So like, what's a Greek salad really? But around this area, oh yeah, everybody puts potato salad in them, which, you know, like I said, seemed weird, but.
We don't know where it started. We don't know
Tarpon Springs, Florida.
Right, but.
Somebody did it. Some restaurant up there did it, and it just took off and became a thing.
And it's really yummy.
Oh yeah. So anyway, to start off with, I'm using russet potatoes. Now, in a lot of potato salads, you want to use a more waxy potato rather than a starchy potato, because that way they don't break apart as easy. But the weird thing about this potato salad is they scoop it out with an ice cream scoop. So you want it to be a little bit, I don't want to say mushy, but it does crumble almost, a bit more. The potatoes don't have as much structural integrity, you might say. So I want to make sure I use a potato that can actually have those attributes, and that's why I like to do that.
The extra starches in the potatoes actually mingle with the mayonnaise and the other ingredients of the sauce to make it more thick.
It's a little thicker. Yeah.
It's actually really nice.
It's also more of a dill-based potato salad than a like I have a pickle relish in mine and all this kind of stuff, but you know, this is a little bit different. But anyway, I'm peeling potatoes because I gotta prepare the potatoes. So I'll be back when this is done. Okay, the potatoes have been properly peeled. So now it's time to get to the dicing section of the show. And what I wanna do is I'm looking for maybe a 1/2-inch cube. They're pretty small. You don't want it to be too big. And what I like to do is, see, I just took off one side, right? Now flip it to that, and now I can make those 1/2-inch slices. And if you leave it on there, on your knife, you can use that as your guide to make them all exactly the same, or close enough. Because when you get to the end, you know, it is what it is. And then I just, you know, cut those into smaller cubes. It's dicing up a potato, folks. It's not really rocket science. So let me cut this up. I'll be back. For those curious, that's what we're looking for, about that big. Put them in a pot. Nothing else in the pot yet, just potatoes. Potatoes. See, they're all about uniform in size. And I'm just gonna put in enough cold water to cover these, bring them to a boil, and let that go for about 8 minutes. What you're looking for is what they call fork tender. When you pierce it with a fork, it should pretty much go right through with no real resistance. One important thing about the potatoes, when you take them out and put them through a colander, just let them drain on their own. Don't rinse them underwater. You want the starches to stay, okay? Just very important thing. Our potatoes are waiting right now to be added to the salad. So we got our big glass bowl, and I have the rest of our ingredients. What else do I need, Derica?
You need a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise.
I'll put that in a moment. What's next?
A rib of celery.
We have 2 ribs because ours are cut in half. So see,
it's a rib.
Now it's 1 rib. Look at that. So I'm just going to chop that up into nice little pieces. I don't like the ends. They always feel a little dried out and just gross.
However, we do keep those ends and keep them in our freezer bag so we can use them for our homemade veggie broth.
I'm just chopping celery. It's no big deal. You've seen it before. I do like them to be wee bits though, you know, little bite-sized pieces. Celery in the big glass bowl.
Next, we need 1/2 of an onion.
1/2 of a medium onion. When I wrote this out, I didn't know exactly what size the onion was going to be. And do you ever really know what size your onion's going to be? You know, so Let's see, do I want half or do I want whole? I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know as I cut it up. I do, however, want a pretty fine dice, about the size of that celery. So just gonna make a bunch of radial cuts. And then cut across. Some people don't like onions in their potato salad. To those people I say, you don't know what you're missing. But that said, if you have a problem with alliums or onions, totally leave them out, it's okay. And I'm gonna go with the half an onion, because that's plenty of onion, even for me, and I like onion. So what's next?
Now is it time for the mayonnaise?
Now would be a good time for the mayonnaise.
So
now,
add half a cup of mayo.
Now, this is also kind of to taste, okay? Because I'm gonna put a half cup in here, I'm gonna mix it through. As I add the potatoes in, we might need a little more. So I don't wanna overdo it. By the way, this is the mayo made in our plant-based mayo video. So as you can see, it thickens up really, really nicely in the fridge. I'm just gonna eyeball, it's about a half cup, maybe a little on the lower side. What's next?
Next is 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar.
Okay, when you get this stuff, make sure it's Bragg's or homemade and mix it up. You gotta get the mother in there, right? I'm gonna eyeball 2 tablespoons. I might even be just using like 1. Something like that. Yeah, it's about a tablespoon. I don't wanna go too much because it'll thin out that dressing and you want this to be a little bit on the thick side.
1 tablespoon of dill or 2 tablespoons if you're using fresh dill.
Right. For this, to taste. Not everybody loves dill. This is an odd thing for potato salad for me, but it is actually pretty common in a lot of potato salads. So yeah, that's a tablespoon.
And now we need the potatoes.
They should be fine. Now you don't want them to be super hot right out of the water, but you don't want them to be cold either because the warmth actually helps everything to kind of come together and keeps the starches going. So I'll be right back. Okay, the moment of truth. Potatoes in. See, there's still some steam. They're still hot. And now, a little mixy-mixy. And as you're mixing, you can see, is there enough dressing on there? Is, you know, you'll know. You just look at it. If it looks soup, then you know you did too much. If it looks like nothing's really getting coated, you probably didn't do enough.
It actually looks like you did just spot on.
I tend to do that. She calls me the volumizer.
I do.
Because I can look at a thing and know like how much it is and kind of like, did you ever make ravioli and you have pasta and the meat mixture or the cheese mixture? I'm the type of person that I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna make 36 ravioli and I don't measure anything and I end up making 34 to 36 ravioli and I end up with the exact right amount of pasta and filling. It's a gift. At least I'm good at something, you know? Everybody has their thing. Yeah, this does look about right. It might even be a little bit much, you know, I'll admit it. But it's okay, because it will soak it up and it will thicken a little bit. The idea is you just want to mix this thoroughly through and then stick it in the fridge. Put it in the fridge, let it cool down a bit, at least, you know, an hour or 2 before you start assembling your salad.
Ideally, even putting it in overnight might be even better.
Yep. But you know what? I have to try this just because. I think we're going to get takeout for you.
Nope. Nope.
This is good.
I can smell it. It's wonderful.
Now the potato salad part is done. Now on to the green part of this, the rest of the salad. Yeah, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to use half a head of iceberg lettuce. Can you use romaine?
Absolutely.
Of course you can. I don't really care. I don't judge, you know. I just happen to like iceberg lettuce. It's really convenient and easy. I'm just going to cut the core right out and chop it up into bits and throw it in a bowl. Now when I say bits, I mean like this, you know, 1 to 1.5 inches or so, rectangles, squares, you know, polygon of your choice.
Something that's not going to be too unruly for you to cram into your mouth.
Exactly. You don't want it to be too big. And I'm using the biggest bowl I own. It's actually a pasta bowl. I love this thing. Got it at Costco with a set of matching 4 smaller bowls for like 20 bucks years ago. They don't make them anymore. So it's my prized possession. I take care of it. What's next?
Radicchio. Why? Because it's fancy.
Yeah, the red color is just really cool. And for this, I tend to keep it a little bit smaller, so I sort of shred it a little bit more. And how much? I don't know, about that much. What is it, like a cup? Does add a little bit of a different flavor of lettuce. It's kind of a bittering thing. I think it's a kind of cabbage, to be honest. I don't know. I just cook with the stuff. Tastes good. Into the bowl.
Next, we're going to add zucchini.
Now, This is not traditionally a usual ingredient in Greek salad. Why am I doing it? Well, because, you know, here's the thing. Greek salad is kind of refrigerator Velcro, you know? If you've got stuff laying around, use it up. This is like half a zucchini. I happen to like raw zucchini. Some people don't, but if you are one of those that likes it, like me, then we can be friends. And just chop it up into nice little cubes like this. Bite-sized pieces, that's what we're looking for, bite-sized pieces. Adds a little crunch, a little extra nutrition, can't go wrong. By the way, you can substitute stuff out in this. You don't have to do exactly the way we're doing it. I also had half an onion from an earlier thing that we made, you know, the potato salad. So I'm gonna use this. And you can cut these in all different ways. I am doing different cuts for each piece to give a variety of textures to things. So for the onion, I'm actually gonna do kind of the half crescent moon thing, you know, that breaks apart when you get it in there and mix it through. I'm going pretty thin. Derica has a slight issue with fresh raw onion, so I don't want to go too heavy on the onion. Normally, I'd do a whole onion in this, but because of her issues, you might say, we don't want to go too far, and I don't want her to get sick over this. She has decided to forfeit her own safety in order to make a Greek salad for you. Next is a carrot.
Carrot.
Now, the way I like to do a carrot, by the way, if you hear thunder, it's because, well, there's a thunderstorm just about to happen outside. The way I like to do carrot is like matchsticks. So I go about maybe a little over an inch long, like that, and look at that. See, I got 5 sections, all roughly the same size. See what I mean? Take one piece, right, and just cut an end off, just like that. So I have a nice flat side, and then I cut slices. Like that. When you get to the end, it's okay. Just lay it down, and I just line these all up, right? And then just start cutting out matchsticks. Watch your fingers. This could be a little bit hairy as you get close to your fingers. See, I'm going slow. I have 10 fingers still, and I like to keep them. But I used to do it like the old-fashioned way where you cut each individual matchstick. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. If, as you're cutting up an ingredient, you say to yourself, "Self, this looks like way too much carrot," it's totally okay to just eat the other piece. So, carrot in.
Cucumber. A third.
What kind of cucumber is it?
Oh. So this is an English cucumber. The reason why we're using an English cucumber is because it has a really thin skin, so you don't have to peel them. You just cut them up and eat them. Yay!
I'm just cutting them into rounds, about, you know, 1/8 of an inch or so, a few millimeters for you metric people. I didn't mean it to come out like that, just, you know what I mean. I would totally use metric if it were more feasible. We do use metric frequently, but as a general rule, where we live, you know, in the US, it's not metric. So some stuff has both, but in general, it's really hard to make the switch completely because people will look at you like, huh? So I don't tend to use it other than internally, you might say. All right, so cucumbers. Starting to look like a pretty good salad to me.
Next is bell pepper.
I'm gonna use half of a red bell pepper. And if you order a Greek salad, like in most places, they give you like 2 green pepper rings on top. I don't think that's enough bell pepper. And you know, green bell pepper really isn't the bell pepper to be eating anyway, because the red one has all the vitamin C. So, and given the 2 big rings, how do you eat that? You have to cut it, right? So why serve it that way? So I'm going to cut it into bite-sized pieces because that makes more sense, you know, because humans have to actually eat this. Namely, us. Plus the red is a nicer color. There's a lot of green in there already. Don't need more green, we need more red. You know, contrasting colors, come on.
Speaking of red, our next ingredient is tomatoes. What type of tomatoes did we choose, Brian?
I don't know, what are these? These are grape tomatoes. There's a lot of tiny tomatoes. Cherry ones are a little bit bigger. You can use cherry tomatoes and cut them in half if you want to. I like the grape tomatoes for this, and I'm gonna use like half a pint. Yeah, because this is a pint, so half of that would be half a pint. And I think that's enough tomatoes. Yeah. Okay, the next ingredients are some of my favorites. This is delicatessen style mild banana pepper rings. Now, when they say mild, they're not actually spicy. It's banana peppers that have been brined, pickled, essentially. And how much of these? Well, if it's up to me, half the jar, but they do have a lot of sodium. So you want to be a little bit more careful than that. This is a 2-serving salad. Believe it or not, but you can make it more like 4. We're gonna eat it for dinner though. So I probably am using maybe a little over a 1/4 cup, okay? Not a tremendous amount. One of the things that makes a Greek salad is Kalamata olives. So for these have some fat in them, so we want to be careful. They're also loaded with sodium. So I figure 3 to 4 each is pretty good. So just, you know, a bunch, 8, 10, something like that is good. I like olives. I really like olives. All right, the next thing is going to be, well, you want a protein source. We're making this a meal. This is optional. You can leave it out. It's not really part of an official Greek salad, but chickpeas. I'm using canned today. Why? Because, well, I didn't prepare ahead and make our own, so I'm gonna do this. And if you notice, I'm saving that aquafaba because, well, the mayonnaise that we used to make the potato salad was made from aquafaba in another video. So yeah, save your aquafaba, freeze it if you have to, and defrost it when you need it. Should I or should I not use the whole can of chickpeas? That is always the question. And you know what? I'm feeling froggy today, so the whole thing is going in. Lots and lots of chickpeas. I love chickpeas. I think they're awesome. There are people out there that would say that it's not really a Greek salad unless you have feta cheese, which makes ours not really a Greek salad at all because we're using a plant-based feta cheese rather than a real feta cheese. But, Derica, what are you going to do with this?
Still feta cheese. It is Violife's 100% vegan, just like feta cheese.
I'm going to argue it's not exactly like feta, but it's close. It's not bad. It has a it's not as crumbly of a texture, but it is, it's pretty good.
It's feta adjacent.
Yes.
So my hands are clean, by the way. I'm getting in here and I'm going to show you. See, it's just a big block of
Use
stuff.
like half of that.
So I am going to attempt to break this up, but we're multitasking. So while I'm doing this, Brian is going to be making the dressing.
For that, you probably want to use a high-speed blender. If you don't have a high-speed blender, a regular blender could work. It just may take a lot longer.
We're going to start off with 1/2 cup of red wine vinegar.
Okay, I got about 1/2 cup here. I don't usually measure this when I do it. I just pretty much eyeball it. The trick is when you're making, it's a vinaigrette, so you want at least a 2 to 3 to 1 ratio of olive oil to vinegar. And what is my next ingredient?
1 cup of olive oil.
That's
Extra virgin, please.
Yeah, you definitely want the good stuff. This is a California olive ranch. We get it at Publix. You can also get it from Amazon. I think we'll be able to put a link to you. This is really good stuff. I actually really appreciate it. What's next?
1 tablespoon of mustard. And of course, we're using Brian's favorite.
Goldens. I mean, there's other kinds of mustard. Now, mustard acts as a flavorant and an emulsifier, so it does help this to thicken up just a little bit.
Next, we're doing 1 tablespoon of lemon juice.
Yep, I'm using the stuff from the bottle that I got at the store. You can use fresh if you want. Adds a little flavor, a little acidity.
Next, roughly 4 cloves of garlic.
We have 2 baby cloves, so it's 3 and 2 babies in this case, which makes 4. I originally wrote the recipe for 1, therefore I'm doing it right by putting in 4.
And a tablespoon of sugar.
Okay, if you don't want to put in the sugar, don't put in the sugar. I go back and forth on it. I don't make this very, very often, but the sugar adds a level of sweetness that Greek dressings are known for. An Italian dressing doesn't have as much sweetness. Greeks do, so I'm just putting in some sugar.
If you don't want to use white table sugar, you can use a sugar substitute of your choice.
Yeah.
I would suggest date sugar.
You can actually even put in whole dates, and it would still probably work. I've not actually tried that, but I have made other vinaigrettes with dates, and it worked quite well. And now, put spurs to it. That was exactly 1 minute and 33 seconds, and looks like just about the right amount, so Derek is putting it onto the salad now. Truth is, I forgot to turn the camera back on after the blender was done, so we're doing the best we can. It's a non-scripted show, folks. We are so close to plating, I can almost taste it. Now we have our dressing on there, almost everything is in it, but what I want to do is put some black pepper. Can you just do like, you know, I don't know, 1/4 teaspoon, as much as you like, lots, that much. Black pepper's optional. It's really good, but it is optional. I think that's a pretty good start. And then what else we got?
Basil and oregano.
And I think I do like a teaspoon or so of each. Again, eyeballing it. You can put them right into the dressing. I don't like to break up the herbs. I like to see those little spots. So that's why I do them on top of the salad like this. And now we mix. Go ahead and mix that up. While she's mixing it, I'm gonna get some of that sexy B-roll footage for you. At this point, you want to check, make sure you have enough dressing, that everything's getting coated nicely. It's really nice to make salads in large bowls like this in one lump, rather than dress your salad at the table, because we have a tendency to put too much dressing on, which means we're getting too much fats, too much sugars, too much of the stuff that's really not good for you, and make salad less than healthy, even though salad's supposed to be healthy. Looks like I think we're good. There's a lot going on here though, so you do want to mix it thoroughly. What are we gonna do?
Well, we're gonna put this in a bowl.
Right.
And then we're gonna put that on top of that. And then we're gonna add a special ingredient.
Oh yeah. Actually, there's two things. This isn't so much a secret ingredient, it's just something I like to do. It's not really part of Greek salad, but hey, you know what? This is our Greek salad, so I can make it how I want. I'm gonna put on some of our shaky cheese. And I'm just literally sprinkling some over the top. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is basically a vegan Parmesan, and we did a video on it. You should go check that out.
So as you can see, selecting those starchy potatoes really worked, and you can see how glistening and gorgeous it is with those additional starches mixed in with the mayonnaise.
And you just put a nice like pile. They do the ice cream scoop. I'm not doing an ice cream scoop because I don't want to mash up our potatoes too much. So I'm just gonna put some on top. I know this seems messy and crazy, but trust me, it's awesome. This is all I'm gonna put on for now because I have to take a picture of this, but when I actually eat it, I'm gonna put more on. Non più tra I farfalloni amoroso, notte giorno di torno girare. My favorite thing to put on these?
The piece de la resistance.
Pepperoncini. The pickled peppers, they have this lovely salty, briny thing going on. Again, these have a lot of sodium. This isn't necessarily a healthy salad, okay? I just gotta be honest. But it is all plant-based, so, you know, there's that. And how many of these you put on is totally up to you. I like about 4 to start with, and then I put more on as I go. But I do have to take pictures of this now, so I'll be back in a second. So all that's left is to taste it. This is my favorite part of this whole thing. So I just want to get a little bit of everything, except one of those peppers. They're not Derica's favorite thing, so you know that's why it's on here. You don't have to eat it. A couple things I want to talk about. The dressing itself is a little bit sweet without being overly sweet. It's got a nice vinegary flavor, but combined with the creaminess of the potato salad with the dill, there's something about the juxtaposition of those two flavors that works so well in this particular kind of Greek salad. Just simply amazing.
You also have the combination of the different textures. You have the crunch of the fresh vegetables. You have the softness of the cooked potatoes and the potato salad. And then all the different accents of the salty, the briny, the acidic. It's just wonderful.
So, if you're ever in Tarpon Springs, Florida, make sure you stop somewhere, any of the restaurants there. We'll serve you a Greek salad that'll be something sort of like this. But as always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.
Bye-bye.